Welcome to the Alex and Jim Show. We're today in Munich, and we wanted two things. We wanted to tell you some things about Munich, what is worth seeing, what is not worth seeing, and we wanted to talk to you about, like, we're actually right now standing on the Viktualienmarkt and talk about markets in Germany, because they're a big deal.
Intro.
If you've never been to Munich, one thing you seriously need to check out is the surfers in the English Garden.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but yeah, the surfing in the English Garden is one of the coolest. Well, the English Garden is one of my favorite things about Munich. Actually, yeah, actually, it is probably my favorite thing about
really
music. Cool. One interesting fact I learned today is the English Garden is actually larger than Central Park
and then Hyde Park in
London. I didn't realize it was that big. That's huge.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
But I mean, in that park, we do have a picture playing now of of these surfers.
Surfers right there. So the English Garden is something you really need to check out. I think it's not a secret or anything, but it's worth seeing in Munich. Sitting next to the Chinese Tower, chinesischen Turm, in the beer garden, having a Stein. Not. Another thing that we recommend checking out is the Hofbräuhaus. Well,
you won't meet a single American in there.
Right.
Not touristy at all.
Not touristy at all. Well, in fact, you won't meet any German. There are no natives. But it's still interesting. I mean,
it's a lot of fun. It's one of the touristy things where you walk in there, you're like, all right, you know, it's touristy.
So bad at this.
I know what is going to happen here.
But it's really a great time. We went last year, met a lot of cool people, and really was just. I mean, one thing that did do that's very German culture is when you sat down, you had to sit down with people you didn't know.
Right.
And that was a lot of fun, getting to know the people you were eating with, drinking beer, and just having a great time.
Hanging out, joining other people's tables. Yeah. You do that once in a while. And yeah, don't worry about the music if you're there. Don't ignore it.
It's Alex's favorite.
I love schunkeling to that kind of stuff. There's the Frauenkirche, which are the two kind of like twin towers of Munich.
That's like the symbol of Munich.
Right.
Especially on a pretty day, you can see the mountains in the background, and that's a nice picture.
It's pretty. If you want to climb up something and get a look at Munich, there's the so-called Alter Peter, which is somewhere behind us.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the view.
No, not really.
We promise it's back there.
Yeah, and it's a lot of stairs getting up there, but it's a really nice view.
And it only costs €1.
That's true, it only costs €1, right?
So, I mean, it's worth the coin.
It's really worth the coin, and you get a nice view on the Marienplatz, which is another thing you actually could check out, but it's not that special. It has like the thingy, like the clock thingy, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, tourist people love this clock, and like the first time I ever went to Munich, I was just standing, a whole group of people,
like half an hour waiting,
and I was like, "What the hell is about to happen?" I thought a mime was about to set himself on fire and like jump through a hoop, and then the clock went off. And it's really an interesting, beautiful clock, but
it's more like a Czech thing. I've done that.
Yeah, it's like seen it.
There are also a whole bunch of museums in Munich, but they're there. And they're sure interesting. One thing that we do want to talk about though is we're Munich and we're in Bavaria, which is Bayern.
And that is a very unique thing about Germany. Bavaria is the stereotypical German. It's
sauerkraut, beer, lederhosen.
Yeah, it's what you see on American television with the German accent. That's what it is.
It's kind of like the German Texas, you know, like.
Yes.
And like Bavaria has still like special rights about being independent and some. I think we've talked about that before, but it's worth mentioning again. And so Bavarians are very proud of like being Bavarian. Like you met some Bavarian friends of mine.
Yeah, and the first thing they said to me was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was talking to them, like, "We're from Bavaria, the greatest state in Germany." I was like, "Hey, cool." And but yeah, they're very proud. It's very much so like Texas, you know, where you go to Texas, you see the Lone Star of Texas everywhere. You know, culture.
As we said, we are right now standing on the Viktualienmarkt in Munich, which is like a market on a daily basis, and you can buy all kinds of fruits and stuff. And
I mean, you can buy pretty much anything. I mean, there's even a horse meat vendor.
There's a horse meat vendor, actually. So you can buy a whole bunch of stuff, and Viktualienmarkt is like one of the most famous markets in Germany.
Is one reason it's so famous is because it is every day?
Yeah, because it's always there at the same place. But what usually happens in like smaller cities and bigger cities, they have what is called the center of the city is usually the Marktplatz, And so like once a week or twice a week, usually on Fridays or Saturday, a whole bunch of like vendors, usually like local farmers, come into the city and they sell their products, you know, like from around the area, which is really cool because the quality is really, really good. And
it is a little more expensive though.
it is a little more expensive, but you're supporting the community.
Right.
So, and you know, it's like a social place. You go there, you meet the vendors from around the area, you get to know them, you know, you see them again and again and again. And
it's a good feeling to buy local, you know?
Right. This is a really social kind of thing that many Germans do.
I mean, we have markets in the U.S. obviously, but the German markets are just so much bigger. Even in like some of the smaller German cities I've been in, their markets are so much larger than some of the ones I've been in the U.S. I mean, my hometown, we have a market, but you can't even really compare it. I mean, it's great.
Is it like open air?
Yeah.
Is it open air?
It's an open air, it's local farmers, and it's
How do they install the air conditioners?
Oh, it's pretty hard. We have a whole bunch of people just holding portable ones walking around.
We're almost done with our apples that we just bought here on the Viktualienmarkt. And we hope you enjoyed this episode.
I'll take it easy.
We're going to head to Salzburg.
See you there.
Bye.